Good day, everyone, and all the humans that are tuning in right now to Relate Radio online. And it's welcome to this special edition of the Radio United Day. And Relate is very proud and happy to host all these guests from all over the Netherlands that have their own show on radio station, and they all will be coming today to talk about their show and to play some music. And the programming goes on for the whole day till the evening. So I hope you will enjoy this special show of Relate Radio. And I'm one of the volunteers and show hosts on Relate, and I got asked to present today, and the first show of this special day, the first show is probably called the Relate Megamix Show, and today the whole idea of it that everyone who has a show on Relate Radio turns in a track that fits their own show on Relate Radio, and we all play them together. So it's gonna be a really crazy mix with a really interesting transitions, very, very eclectic, and sometimes even weird. So it's gonna be an interesting roller coaster ride. So I hope you all fasten your seatbelts. So the first track, it's actually a very nice track to open with. It's very pleasant. It's from our Relate resident Ingo, who has a show called Adventures in Rhythm and Grooves. And the track that he chose is by Stan van Dijk, and it's called Corridor, I think, and it's crazy banging new jazz that is indebted to hip-hop as much as it is to 70s jazz fusion. So deliciously tingling to the brain, and probably to your ears as well. So let's kick it off with Stan van Dijk with Corridor. And this was Corridor by Stan van Dijk from the show Adventures in Rhythm and Grooves. Now we're moving on to the next track, which is by Red Manta. And Red Manta is the artist name of Ricardo, who has also a monthly show on Relate. And his monthly show is called Amen to Woman, which is focused on female and transgender artists in electronic styles, especially the drum and bass. And he's also happened to be a producer. So the track that we're going to play next is produced by Red Manta and it's called Find a Place. You were listening to Red Manta with a song called Find a Place. And Red Manta is our resident DJ and show host of Amen to Women. So on to the next. And the next one is a song by Diplo featuring Sandra Melody. And it's called The Newsflash. I think it's a track from 2009, I believe. It's like from his old work, I think. And this song got turned in by our fellow DJ, DJ Freudenthaler, and aka Fabian. And his monthly show is called Butter Notes. And I think Butter Notes is like a term from I believe jazz music, which is like this really nice, smooth sounding parts, so butter notes. And also DJ Freudenthaler is also producing his own music, and his EP Bar Rescue got also recently released, so it's a huge tip to check it out. But now we're going to Diplo with Newsflash from the monthly relate show Butter Notes.
But the longest dinosaur was...
Tell them for me now. Full time when I get the no wins. Me set the pace and I me around things. Like a salon for some little bling blings. No spurs and diamond rings. Quick time and I got Pantora. Them a sing, yeah, I don't know the score. Now me little tight jeans, me I'm at them more. It tune, them a sell out a store. Have you heard the news flash? This year gonna stack some cash. And I'm gonna make it last. You better know that. Have you heard the news flash? This year gonna stack some cash. And I'm gonna make it last. What's the pure Magdalena? Big shop in New York and Brooklyn. This song on the clip them wing. Sing digga ding, sing digga ding ding. Who are you and who for the win? Now cause me for digga ding ding. Wanna take my time and you must sing digga ding. Yo, 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 yo. Have you heard the news flash? This year gonna stack some cash. Gonna make it last. You better know that. Have you heard the news flash? This year gonna stack some cash. Gonna make it last. You better know that.
Diplo with Newsflash featuring Sandra Melody, turned in by Butter Notes, the monthly show focused on jazzy and electronic and smooth sounds. So, and now we're going to Ongehoord. Ongehoord, the guys from Ongehoord, they have organized their parties in Groningen for a couple of years now. So they are really very familiar face in electronic dance scene in Groningen. And they say that you never know what to expect from the Ongehoord parties. And I guess same goes for their monthly radio show. And for today, they chose a track by Blavan. It's called Toast. And they chose it because for its genre overarching attitude towards dance music. And also with the BPM. Is it 186 BPM or is it 93 BPM? Is it electro? Is it some form of hyper dubstep? Or is it just pure electronic anarchy, just like Ongehoord? I guess the answer is yes. So let's enjoy this electronic music anarchy together. So let's listen to Toast by Blavan, which was submitted by Ongehoord. So this was Toast by Blavan, and it definitely sounds kind of crunchy, but I think it also lacks kind of a little bit cheese for a toast. Sorry for this dead joke. So on to the next song. Well, the next song is also a completely different thing. It's by Voodoo Rage, and the song is called Video Game, and it got submitted by our resident Adi, aka Disco Noir, and that's how also his monthly show on Relate is called Disco Noir. So he chose the track because it represents everything what his show is about. New music that could be made in the 80s. So you're already feeling the dark, synth, goth, new wave, post-crowd kind of vibes. And Voodoo Rage is a duo from Chile, and with drum machines and synths and bass and guitar, they make a crossover between dark wave, EBM, punk, and all the other styles that could fit right into Disco Noir's show. So this track was released on 19th January this year, so it's still pretty fresh. So let's listen to Video Game by Voodoo Rage. So this was Video Game by Voodoo Rage by our monthly show Disco Noir. And from the Disco Noir, we're going to Electronic Identity Crisis. And the host of the show is also a DJ, and Ambu Bambu. Maybe you've seen her or heard her performance on the radio stations or maybe even on the festivals. And the track that she turned in is this track appeared on a various compilation by a Beijing-based label Do Hits to celebrate the Year of the Monkey in 2016. And all tracks incorporate traditional Spring Festival-related sounds through sampling and splicing to create a contemporary sound. And this track in particular is the most chaotic and jumbled of the compilation, at least according to Ambu Bambu's opinion. And the constant switching between heavy bass and vocal sampling makes for a never-ending surprise. So the track is by an artist called Wang Lian, and the title of the track is also in Chinese. And I think, according to Google Translate, you can translate the artist's name as the online dating. I don't know if that's correct, but it's very funny. And the track's name can be translated as Fine Days. So I don't know. And I asked Ambu Bambu to record how to pronounce the artist's name. So I'm gonna try to... Let's see if this works out. I hope you guys can hear it.
The artist's name is Wang Lian, and the track name is 幸福的日子.
幸福的日子. So let's listen to Wang Lian with 驯服的日子。Well, if you didn't had an electronic identity crisis before, I'm sure you have now. So this was a track submitted by Ambo Bambo, who has a show, Electronic Identity Crisis. And the track is by Wang Lian, and it's called 驯服的日子. I hope I pronounced it right. So on to the next one, and it's by Virgilio, US bass, and this track was submitted by AMC broadcast host Nicolo, and I know Nicolo as a very passionate music connoisseur with a great vinyl collection, great vinyl selection, and also with great vinyl DJing skills, and also very humble, and he also likes space arts, futuristic space art from the 70s and 80s. So that's like a passion that we also share together, of course, besides music. So let's listen to the track by Virgilio, which is called US Bass Subsonic from EMC Broadcast.
Subsonic.
This was US Bass Subsonic by Virgilio from the EMC broadcast show. So, from the electronic, dreamy explorations, we're going to something very sentimental and emotional. So, our monthly show that's called For Crying Out Loud, hosted by DJ Truvano. So, that's how he describes his show. My show exists in the rain, in the sad moments we all experience, in the worrying thoughts that pop up at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep. So this is why this French poem written by Louis Aragon in 1943 perfectly encapsulates what the show is about. And in this rendition by Françoise Hardy, the piano note falls like raindrops while she tells us the happy love doesn't exist. So the English translation of the last verse of this track by Françoise Hardy that you're going to listen to says it all. So let me quote it. By the time we learn to live, it's already too late. Our hearts cry in misfortune for the simplest song, many regrets to pay for a thrill, many a tear for a guitar's melody. There is no happy love. Ja. Dus we gaan luisteren naar we're going to listen. Sorry for the Dutch switch. We're going to listen to a track by Françoise Hardy, which has a French name which I cannot pronounce because I'm way too emotional after reading that poem. So I just let you guys enjoy it.
Rien n'est jamais acquis à l'homme, ni sa force, ni sa faiblesse, ni son cœur. Et quand il croit ouvrir ses bras, son ombre est celle d'une croix. Et quand il veut serrer son bonheur, il le broie. Sa vie est un étrange et douloureux divorce. Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux. Sa vie, elle ressemble à ces soldats sans armes qu'on avait habillés pour un autre destin. À quoi peut leur servir de se lever matin, eux qu'on retrouve au soir, désarmés, incertains? Dites ces mots, ma vie, et retenez vos larmes. Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux. Mon bel amour, mon cher amour, ma déchirure, je te porte dans moi comme un oiseau blessé. Et cela sans savoir nous regarde passer, répétant après moi ces mots que j'ai tressés et qui pour tes grands yeux tout aussitôt moururent. Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux. Le temps d'apprendre à vivre, il est déjà trop tard. Que pleurent dans la nuit nos cœurs à l'unisson. Ce qu'il faut de regret pour payer un frisson, ce qu'il faut de malheur pour la moindre chanson, ce qu'il faut de sanglots pour un air de guitare. Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux.
Woo. Okay, I feel like I'm getting emotional after this song by Françoise Hardy, submitted by Truffaut from For Crying Out Loud, which actually focuses on this kind of emotional, sad music about love and everything else. So yeah, it was quite an intense listening experience, I have to say. So I have all this sadness that like just came up like in my heart, and now I really need to let it out. So I think the next track will be the perfect track to do so. Like, so we can switch from this all sad emotions, we can transmutate them to something else. So, and the next track is called Expulsion of Fury by Origin, which was submitted by Elzo from Graafmuziek. And Elzo happens to help me operate the show today. He's like our fellow technician sitting over there. And his music, Graafmuziek, focuses on this kind of like death metal? Like what kind of like black metal, death metal, all kind of aggressive, heavy metal kind of guitars. So, and the next track is brutal technical death metal track by the American band Origin, and it represents the show Graafmuziek pretty well. All of the members are incredibly skilled musicians, pushing their razor-sharp sounds straight into the face of the listener. Unrelenting but still groovy in parts, just the way Elzo likes his metal music. And all out of control attack on your senses for you to enjoy. And I think this is gonna be the most cool transition from one track to another track in this show. So brace yourself for the Explosion of Fury by Origin.
Not to suddenly dance, but I saw that time.
Ooh, wow. That was definitely an expulsion of fury, if you ask me. So this is a track by Origin submitted by Elzo from Graaf Muziek. So I hope if you had any sadness left, now it's all probably gone and you're like energetic and adrenaline rushing. So, and you can use that energy to listen to the next tracks and the next radio shows that are coming. So we're going to Roly Poly Spins, and the track is submitted by the DJ host of the show, Honey Lee, and it's actually his own track that he produces, and he chose this track because it includes his favorite genres of footwork, dubstep and breaks, and also because in his radio show he is promoting this kind of Bessie and hybrid genres and genre bending styles. So he thought this could probably work well for his show, and the track is also actually in Chinese. So I'm gonna do the same trick I did the last part, the last time. So let's hear it.
탕 가게, 사탕 가게. Thank you for asking me this.
and and the name of the track can be translated as Candy Shop. And I don't know if this track was inspired by 50 Cent's Candy Shop, but we'll see. So let's listen to Honey Lee with his track. So this track was submitted by Roly Poly Spins host Henny Lee, and he happens to be in the studio. So please, can you tell us how is this track called again?
It's called 사탕 가게.
And it means candy shop.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was inspired by 50 Cent's Candy Shop. Amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you. So, and from the candy shop and the Roly Poly Spins, we go to House House. And House House is a show by DJ Ems, and she focuses on the history of house music. And the track that she chose is by Frank Hatchett, and it's called Just Dance. And Frank Hatchett was a producer and jazz teacher and a dancer himself. So in his style and teaching, Hatchett stressed the need to not only have strong technique, but to truly feel the music and use that emotion to personalize and enhance their movement. So this is the same for house music, which is not just a groove, but a feeling of freedom. So let's all dance to Frank Hatchett with the song Just Dance.
Just
This was Just Dance by Frank Hatchett, submitted by House House radio show, hosted by DJ Ems. And now we're going to listen to a track by Normal FM, and their track is by Safety Trance. So we're going from Just Dance to Safety Trance, and the track is called AAEFXX. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly either. I think maybe it's some kind of new cyber language, I don't know. But Normal FM has this to say about this track. So I quote, "We very much love it when music goes star emoji, heart emoji, and fire emoji." So it's literally, they have like star emojis and heart emojis and fire emojis. So I guess you get what I mean. And especially when it's strange and defies Western norms, which to us are important factors to highlight within music. And especially in electronic music, the spotlight is shown on tracks such as this one by Safety Trance far too rarely. So let's shine some light on this track by Safety Trance, submitted by Normal FM, and let us all go star emoji and heart emoji and fire emoji. This was AAEFX by Safety Trance, submitted by the residents from Normal FM. And you definitely can hear some reggaeton influences with post-club. So it's definitely not the standard electronic style that you hear. So Safety Trance with AAFX submitted by Normal FM. And now I think it's gonna be the last track of this hour of the Relate Megamix show. And of course, because I got the honor to present today's shows, I thought like maybe I can also be so brutal, I guess, and save my track for last. And I am a host of Malta's show called Old School Tronica, which is focused on the old school electronic music made in the era from the late 80s till the early 2000s. And when it comes to DJing, there is one legend that somehow gets made fun of a lot because of his wheels of steel expression. And I guess if you're from the Netherlands, you probably know what I'm talking about. Of course, it's the DJ Jean, you know, that bald guy with way too much suntan. But actually, I think his music back in the days were really nice. And of course, he was very famous for the song The Lunch. But he also got like really also cool tracks after it as well. And the tracks that I chose for today is called Love Come Home, which probably also lots of Dutch people know that because it was sampled in Schudden by Def Rhymes. And I mean, it's a legend. DJ Jean is a legend and his tracks are a legend. So I thought it's a nice and proper way to finish this hour. So submitted by Old School Tronica, DJ Jean, Love Comes Home.